everyone, welcome to the channel. Today I want to go over a quick look at the 15-inch MacBook Air and the 13-inch MacBook Air as it relates to things like multitasking. So if you're in the market for a new laptop and you can't decide between the 13 or the 15-inch, hopefully this will help show you some multitasking scenarios that may be able to help you determine which laptop is better for you. When I'm looking at a laptop, one of the big things that you want to consider is, one, how much space you have, two, the portability, if you're going to be carrying this around all the time, and then three, the biggest thing is if you're going to keep this in a dock or connected to another display, that if you're using another display, maybe the 13-inch is just a better overall pick for you. But we'll also get into looking at some applications side by side, seeing how they scale and how they look. So just looking at the display settings here, on both of them, I have them set to more space. So on the 13-inch, we're at 1710 by 1112. And on the 15-inch, we are at 1920 by 1243. All right, first pair of applications we're gonna look at. So I have Google News pulled up on the left side of the screen, and then I have just a Safari tab with GORUCK pulled up on the right side of the screen. So looking at Google News for both screens, I ensured both of them are zoomed at 100%. Definitely able to tell over on this right column here that we can see more on the screen versus the 13-inch. So if you're someone who likes to read, daily news, whether it's Google News or someone else, and you have it installed as an app, you're definitely going to be able to get more out of the 15-inch. And if you wanted to, you could change the zoom on the 13-inch as well, where you're almost able to match how the 15-inch looks. Really just depends on how much eye strain that you want and how far you're going to have the computer away from you. Right now I'm just at maybe a couple feet where the computer's away from me, so not too significant. But if you're sitting on the couch or something and it's further away, or it's on a desk, zooming on the 13-inch in and out is possibly going to create a lot more strain on your eyes. So let's go ahead and open up a couple other applications. Okay, so still keeping Google News in the top left, Safari on the right side, and also adding in just a note down at the bottom left there. You can still see how on the 15-inch you definitely get a significant amount of viewing space from all three tabs. I went in and changed back the Google News from 80% back to 100% on the 13-inch, so the ratio there is still the same for each device. Looking at the Safari tab, I see this person over here on the right side of the screen, and I can see well past this person. And then on the 13-inch here, I'm not even able to see the entire person here. She's cut off. And then same over on the left side, looking at his shoe, I can barely see the end of it, whereas over here, I can see significantly past it. So when you're looking at, if you're multitasking like I do a lot, I definitely like to be able to see more of the screen that I'm looking at. It helps with eye strain. It helps reduce, me having to bring the computer towards me further away, where I'm able to zoom if I wanted to. But I just like being able to see more of that screen there. All right, so pulling up YouTube for content consumption. Both of these applications are zoomed at 100%. If you look at the 15-inch, I'm able to see down past my subscriptions, down to the Explorer area, whereas over on the 13-inch, I cannot even see all the way through my subscriptions that I have here on YouTube. So zoomed at the same space, I'm able to get more out of the 15-inch. Overall, content consumption on the 15-inch. This screen is massive compared to the 13-inch. So if you're someone who likes to watch YouTube from further away, or you're watching, videos, whether it's Apple TV, Netflix, Hulu, whatever, either by yourself or with someone else from further away, the 15-inch is definitely going to be probably the better option for you. All right, now looking at Trading View on the left side of the screen, and then Yahoo Finance on the right side of the screen. Clearly we have a big ad here, but if we're just looking at the landing page of Yahoo Finance, I'm able to see that first article and then significantly past that for the 15-inch, whereas the 13-inch, it cuts off even before getting to those second and third articles. So if you're someone who likes to multitask and you like to have chart tabs up, anything with trading stocks, anything like that, as well as looking at some of the current news, the 15-inch is definitely going to offer more real estate for that. Additionally, if you are someone who likes to use multiple desktops, you could have something set up where you add an additional desktop, and if you wanted to move Trading View, we'll say over to desktop 2, you get a big chart there, and then you can come back and you still have a lot of news there. So you could swipe both ways here. The 13-inch, you could also do that as well. So if you value the portability of the 13-inch, if you're looking at stock charts and then news and you wanted a similar setup, maybe you would just have to mess with the zoom so it works for you. But if you're sitting at a desk or at a computer for a long period of time and you're not hooked up to an external monitor, I think the 15-inch would definitely be the way to go, either in this configuration or how I had it before with just the one desktop. For me, I like being able to look at all of the charts, all the indicators, still having some of the watch lists and everything pulled up. So personally, I like the 15-inch here more. But if you are hooked up to an external monitor for the majority of the day, definitely the 13-inch, I think, if you want just that portability. All right, now looking at some social media consumption. So over on the right side, I have Facebook pulled up. On the left side, I have ChatGPT pulled up. Still able to see a lot more over on the 15-inch. Social media consumption, it depends on what you're trying to do. Facebook is Facebook. Most people use Facebook on their phones and not necessarily on their laptops. But if you are someone who is trying to edit posts, maybe you want to see a little bit more out of a Facebook page or even Instagram. You could install the Instagram app as well on the MacBook. And if you're someone who likes to edit social media posts, maybe the 15-inch, gives you that variety of the larger real estate for the screen, for other applications that you have to deal with. But if you are just in a pinch and you're just trying to scroll, the 13-inch I think would definitely be a better option for just scrolling and consuming social media content. I don't think that there's significantly more that you would gain from the 15-inch if you're just scrolling and looking at one post at a time. But if you are editing, maybe the 15-inch would be a better way to edit and post for you. If you're someone who likes to use your MacBook a lot for organization of your calendar, schedule, things like that, reminders, over on the left side, I have the Apple Calendar app. I have the Reminders app and then the Notes app as well. Personally, I don't use Apple Calendars. I use Google Calendars. Reminders I use sometimes. And then Notes I do not use very often. But if you are someone who likes using that for your ecosystem or even your family for sharing calendars, you can definitely see a difference between the 13-inch and the 15-inch for what all is in a specific day. Of course, you can change it between day, week, month. So let's look at the week here and see how different those would look. The boxes are definitely a little bit bigger on the 15-inch side, but nothing too crazy. Since I got this new 15-inch, I haven't actually set up all of my calendars on here, so I'm not seeing the same thing on each one. But looking at each one, it's definitely easier on the 15-inch to see, what an entire event may be versus the 13-inch. So if you're just looking at a quick glance, probably not a big deal. But if you're someone who really likes to read what you have going on that day and see the entire thing, the 15-inch would probably be the better option for you. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to go through a couple bag recommendations. So we still have the 13-inch MacBook Air and the 15-inch MacBook Air over here. So we're going to start with a smaller bag. So this is a GORUCK Bullet 18-liter dual compartment. So in the back here, we have a laptop compartment. And for all of these bags, the 13-inch will definitely fit the best, but we'll see how it looks. So 13-inch fits in there, plenty of room to spare, easily zips up. The 15-inch will fit in this bag, but right along this corner here, it's a little bit tighter. It still does fit. Now, if you're looking for a work bag to use with these laptops, it depends what your work is. If you are a tech person or you don't carry a lot of things, a smaller bag is normally what I would go to. But if you are someone who likes to have a lot of things day to day, obviously go with a bigger bag. But if you don't carry a whole lot and you like a smaller bag, the 13-inch would probably be a better option for you for that. But just keeping in mind what you use, the laptop for primarily as well. This is the Evergoods Civic travel bag CTB 26. This is one of my favorite bags. And in the back here is where we have the laptop compartment. Actually, you have a laptop compartment, and then you have a little document kind of divider there as well. So this is a 26-liter bag. If you want me to do any reviews on how I pack out these bags later, drop a comment below. But looking at the 13-inch, holds it easily. Actually, you could even get the 15-inch in here as well. So you can put that in the larger side here. You could swap these out. Put the 15-inch in the suspended laptop sleeve there. So they both work. This I believe is a pretty good size for a bag, a daily bag. You could fit things like rain jackets and all your tech and lunch and things like that in there as well. You have quick access pockets as well for phone, wallet, keys, headphones, anything like that. So I think this is probably one of the best options for a bag carry. This is a GORUCK GR2 34-liter. Again, this is going to be pretty similar layout to the dual compartment 18-liter, the Bullet. This one is just going to be a little bit bigger, Most GORUCKs have pretty much the same layout. So in the back here, you have your laptop compartment. So the 13-inch will still fit, no problem at all. So depending on if you're going for maybe a longer weekend somewhere, you're traveling for work, maybe a larger backpack would be better suited for you. But if you are overpacking with clothes and other travel items, just being mindful of your screen, that could play into, if you want a larger screen or a smaller screen as well for the portability. Using the GORUCK laptop compartment, it's definitely going to be safe. And here you have a ton of extra room. But if you are dealing with a 15-inch and your bag is fully packed out, you still have a ton of extra room in here. However, if you were to pack a bag like this out, you could put some wear kind of on that screen. So just thinking about things like that as well while you're packing or whatever you're carrying day to day. Also phenomenal bag. And then last bag here is also going to be an Evergoods bag. So this is going to be their slimmed down version of the Civic travel bag. So this is the Civic travel bag. This is the 18 liter. So with this 18 liter, this is what I carry every day for work. Same exact layout as the 26 liter, just slightly smaller. So we still have our laptop compartment back here. 13-inch fits, no problem. Can we add the 15-inch in there? I believe we can. Now keep in mind that with this specific bag, this where the 13-inch is technically the laptop compartment because it does have a suspended bottom down here. Kind of hard to capture on camera, but it's actually suspended down there a little bit. Whereas where I have this 15-inch right now, currently has a little bit of padding at the bottom, but not a whole lot. So let's pull this 13-inch out and see if the 15-inch will actually fit in here as well, which it does. And the nice thing about Evergoods is they have these little straps as well. So if you wanted to strap it in, it's strapped in, it's not going anywhere, and then once you seal it up, it's not moving anywhere. So they will both fit, or all of these bags will fit these laptops. Those are my primary backpack brands that I use. I know there are a lot of other popular ones out there, but just looking at how these both work, I can still have this bag pretty packed out. And if I still wanted to get the 15-inch in there, I can. So that's just a quick review of some of the bags. Again, if you want me to do a actual pack out of how I pack, my work bag day to day, I'm in tech. I also travel a little bit, so I like to use these for kind of dual purposes. So if you want me to do an actual pack out, leave a comment down below, and then add in some things if you want me to test them out as well. I think that's pretty much going to do it for the review. So some of those bigger points to hit on, making sure that depending on if you like to multitask or if you are someone who's going to be plugged into an external monitor, that's really going to be the key difference in my opinion between if you would go with a 15-inch or a 13-inch. If you're just going to be at home most of the day and you're jumping between the couch, a chair, something else, and you don't necessarily care about multitasking, maybe the 13-inch is better for you. If you like, to consume a lot of content, or if you're eyes don't work as well as they used to. Maybe that 15-inch would be a better option for you. Weight-wise, spec-wise, you guys can look those up. Really, it's a 13-inch versus a 15-inch. The screen's going to be slightly larger. The weight's going to be slightly heavier. As far as the components, unless you're doing something that requires pro tasks, most MacBook Airs I found are going to be suitable for pretty much every task that you want to do, unless you're some type of developer that needs the pro model, or you're doing a lot of video editing, things like that. Maybe the pro model would be for you then. But I think for the average consumer, the Air would be a perfect option. So that kind of wraps it up. Feel free to leave some comments. Let me know if you want to see anything else, and thanks for watching.